Welcome back, everybody, to another video. And here we are today ranking the head coaches that just got hired off-season just started 2 days ago, but this past coaching cycle, all the spots are filled. The Saints finally made their decision. They were waiting for Kellen Moore the whole time, and it would have been hilarious if Kellen Moore declined it, but he did get hired. So we're going to rank all 7 head coaching hires and kind of talk about them a little bit and the impact that they will have on their team. Kicking things off at number 7, we have Brian Schottenheimer from the Dallas Cowboys. He was promoted from being their offensive coordinator by Jerry Jones. His quarterback is going to be Dak Prescott, and his offensive coordinator is Clayton Morris. Don't really know who that fool is. Defensive coordinator is Matt Eberflus. Honestly, I kind of like the hire a little bit. You know, failed head coaches always make the best D coordinators for some reason. Yeah, I think it's a good hire. And the main reason that he's this low is he's just going to be Jerry Jones's puppet. I mean, I think there's a reason why they're promoting this guy. Let's be honest. I don't even I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't even hear about this hire honestly until a couple days after it happened. I don't know how I missed it. But this Cowboys offense was not really that good. So he didn't really um, no one was talking about him getting promoted. No one was talking about the possibility. It really doesn't make sense. But I think that the reason he did get promoted is so that Jerry Jones can just basically coach the team. It's going to be a nightmare. I don't think it's going to be good at all for the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't like the hire. I don't know if I don't think he's ready. You know, this offense wasn't good. I don't know who this fool Clayton Morris is, so I don't know if it's going to get much better. But his biggest obstacle is obviously this front office. Just so dysfunctional, so bad, and just a horrible situation right now. I think the Cowboys are going on a steep downtrend. Um, Coming in at number 6, we have Kellen Moore, the most recent hire. He got hired to the New Orleans Saints. He was the Eagles' offensive coordinator. His quarterback is going to be Derek Carr. I don't think they have an offensive coordinator yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. Clint, what's his name? I think it's Clint Kubiak, the son of Coach Kubiak. He went to the Seahawks, so he's no longer in New Orleans. Their defensive coordinator is still Joe Woods. His reason, I think he's still a little unproven, and I could be wrong. You know, I think he is a good offensive coordinator. I just don't know if he's ready to be a head coach yet. Um, Especially when you take into consideration like the Chargers offense actually kind of improved after he left. The Cowboys offense, I'm not too sure, but in Philadelphia, he had the best running back in the NFL and one of the best offensive lines. So it makes things a little bit easier to have a good offense, in my opinion. But hey, they did win the Super Bowl and they put up 40 points in the Super Bowl. So I like the hire. You know, I get where they're trying to go with this. But I think Kellen Moore's biggest obstacle to success, and the reason why so many coaches and offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators that are, you know, in this cycle that wanted to stay with the teams that they are with is because they don't want to be in the Saints cap situation. The Saints have an insane cap situation. Like it's absolutely absurd how bad it is. So it's going to be a little tough, but I like the fit. I see where they're trying to go with this, and hopefully it works out for the best. All right, coming in at number 5, we have, in my opinion, the most shocking hire out of all of these. Pete Carroll is hired to the Las Vegas Raiders. He was the Seahawks head coach, and like last year, he was in the front office doing something. I don't remember, but he was with the Seahawks, just not coaching. Um, Quarterback is to be determined. Definitely not going to be the guys that we saw this year. At least I don't think. You know, it could be Shooter Sanders. It could be Russell Wilson. I've been hearing some rumors of, so that would be kind of fun. A little, uh, oh my gosh, reunion there in Las Vegas. I don't know why the the Raiders are it's like a retirement place for Seahawks people. Marshawn Lynch, Pete Carroll, and maybe Russell Wilson. Defensive coordinator. No, I'm sorry, offensive coordinator. We don't know yet. Defensive coordinator is Patrick Graham. And the reason that he's at number 5, I don't know. I think this is just a hire for the Raiders to just stay relevant. They are in Vegas. They got to stay relevant. They got to stay, uh, in the news. I guess Pete Carroll, very very good head coach, very good background. He's a Super Bowl winner. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. He knows what it takes to win. And honestly, I'm a huge fan of Pete Carroll, like a huge fan. I really like him, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to change this Raiders team. And I think at best he could take this team to like 8-9 or 9-8 and try and get into the playoffs. But that's kind of a stretch. I think they'll just kind of be, in that middle of the pack type of team with Pete Carroll. But his biggest obstacle is obviously just no offense to work with. Unless they do something drastic in the offseason to change this, there's really nothing for Pete Carroll to work with here, unless, like I said, they make some trades or hire, draft, whatever. But I get what they're trying to do. I just think this is kind of a bridge hire, honestly, just to stay relevant and in the news, I guess. Coming in at number 4, we have Aaron Glenn from the New York Jets, formerly the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. Quarterback is to be determined. It is not going to be Aaron Rodgers. So when I originally made this slide, we did not get the news that Aaron Rodgers will not be the New York Jets quarterback next year. The Jets are moving on, which is so funny to me. But it is not going to be Aaron Rodgers. Don't really know who it's going to be. So we're back to square one with the Jets here. Offensive coordinator is going to be Tanner Engstrand. Defensive coordinator is going to be Steve Wilks. Now, I actually like the hire of Tanner. I'm not even going to say his last name. He was the passing coordinator for the Lions last season. So they kind of, Aaron Glenn kind of stays in-house with the guy that he's been working with, at least in the same building with. So I like the hire, and I think it could help whatever quarterback comes in. If it's a young quarterback, if they sign a free agent, whatever quarterback comes in to try and lead this team, I think it helps. The biggest reason, I think he's kind of middle of the pack. I think he's a glorified Antonio Pierce. He says the right things. He is a culture coach. This guy's going to be a culture coach, which honestly I'm all here for. His biggest obstacle right there, it's the Jets, man. I just don't think the Jets can. I think they're cursed. I really do. I think the Jets are straight up cursed. And whoever gets hired to coach this team, they could be the best freaking candidate ever. It could be freaking Dan Campbell, and I think the Jets would just get to him. Coming in at number 3, we have Liam Cohen from the Jacksonville Jaguars, formerly the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator. He will be working with Trevor Lawrence, I would say 99 times out of 10. And I don't believe they have an offensive coordinator yet. I didn't see any. Defensive coordinator is Anthony Campanelli. And his reason, honestly, I'm a fan of this. I actually like this hire. I know that a lot of people are kind of making it a meme. He's become a meme with what he's been saying in the media. But honestly, I like it. He has a great resume. He's actually a really good candidate. And I think that it's just all the memes that are coming out, all the clips of him kind of being a little cringy, being a little, a little weird. But I think that in all seriousness, he is a very good candidate. I think that he has a good track record, and the Buccaneers offense looked fantastic last year. I think he can work with Trevor Lawrence very, very well, give him some hope this season. His biggest obstacle, though, just being too much of a goofball. That's okay, though. Some of us, we're all goofballs at heart. So, but yeah, I actually like the hire. I'm a fan of it. People are saying he's going to be bad. I saw people on Pat McAfee's show saying that he's going to be bad just based off of his interview. Come on, really? You can't just base off of, his personality in his interview that he's going to be a bad coach. I think I like the hire. I think it's a step in the right direction for the Jaguars. Coming in at number 2, we have Ben Johnson from the Chicago Bears. And on paper, this is just the most fantastic hire the Bears could have done. He was the Lions offensive coordinator, so they're pulling from a division rival. And he will be working with Caleb Williams. That is the key right there. His offensive coordinator is going to be Declan Doyle, who I did some research. Apparently, this guy was the Broncos tight end coach, which I couldn't even name a Broncos tight end off the top of my head. So, interesting hire, honestly. Very interesting hire. But to be fair, I don't really think you need an offensive coordinator with Ben Johnson. I mean, that's got to be like the easiest job in the world. You just got to stand there and look like you know what you're doing. Defensive coordinator is going to be Dennis Allen. Really like that hire as well. Like I said, failed head coaches make the best D coordinators. Dennis Allen wasn't a. I mean, he wasn't a good head coach, but very good defensive mind. And the reason, obviously, like I said, this is just the most perfect hire possible. I mean, if Caleb Williams can't succeed with this guy, unless Ben Johnson just becomes a complete freaking idiot, then I don't think there's an excuse for Caleb Williams going forward. But his biggest obstacle, and the same obstacle that the Bears had last year, is just the hype. If the hype gets to him, because now the hype starts again, right? Last year they made all these moves. They had all these amazing players, all these new players, and the hype was real. People were saying the Bears were going to win the division. They were going to go to the playoffs. But now, obviously it did not work out like that. But now you got Ben Johnson coming in. A lot of people like the hire, so the hype is it's right back there. So I think, that's the only thing that can get to them at this point. But coming in at number 1, if you use the process of elimination, it is going to be Mike Vrabel for the Patriots. A lot of people would have Ben Johnson number 1. I don't hate that, but man, this is such a perfect hire. I mean, Mike Vrabel belonged as the Patriots head coach. It was just Bill Belichick was there. He was the Titans head coach. Very, very good Titans head coach. He will be working with Drake May, and his offensive coordinator is going to be Josh McDaniels. I also like that hire. I know a lot of people are, saying that Brady carried McDaniels. I don't know. I like it. Bringing him back. He always goes off to, become a head coach and just fails miserably and then comes back and, he's a pretty good offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator is going to be Terrell Williams. And biggest reason, this dude should have never been fired. I still am just dumbfounded why the Titans decided to fire Mike Vrabel. It was one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen. Very, very good head coach. And I think he'll be able to take this Patriots team and make them like a middle of the pack team, honestly. But his biggest obstacle, obviously, just no offense. Drake May is the offense pretty much at this point. Ramondre Stevenson, very talented running back. I don't know if he's a free agent this year, but just no receivers, no offense to be seen. But maybe Mike Vrabel can change that. And a lot of people think that this guy is just a Derrick Henry merchant. This guy got carried by Derrick Henry. I will very much disagree. And I think that, Ryan Tannehill looked fantastic on the Titans. He kind of changed his career around a little bit. He had some struggle years towards the end, but Mike Vrabel was a good head coach, and I still don't understand why he ever got fired. But, this is the safest hire. They know his track record, and it works out. I mean, he's a freaking Patriot Hall of Famer. You see there in the picture, he is he is a former Patriot, won a Super Bowl with the Patriots, could have won multiple, I don't remember. It's just a perfect hire. Guys, let me know what you guys think of these head coaching hires. Who was your favorite? Who was your least favorite? And where do you think I went wrong? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're making videos all off season long. We're going to make bigger videos, so it might come out a little longer, but they'll be a lot better. So guys, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Later.